but I'm blessed. I'm smiling like wanna wake up to new brains. Thank God that's my partner. I'll pass every test and then I'll go harder. Let go. They say it's standing on business. I say it's standing on pay.
On you. And want to make sure that we get good sound.
Yeah.
Jump right into it.
Cool. Fine with me.
We are filming here at Paramount Charter Academy. You told me a little bit about this place and what events will be coming up. Why are we filming here and not somewhere else?
This was the last school that I went to when I grown up in Kalamazoo as a kid. I've been working here for the last 5 years, doing some change as a janitor, doing some change as an educator. And I just had a lot of really great experiences here this was the first place that I got to break out of my shell and attempt to make friends, not only as a youth, this is also the first place where I've made friends at a job and whatnot. Well, like I said, I only went here for 1 year, but it was a real cool year. Like, this school was the first school I actually put myself out there to make friends. And this school's been a safe space of me just expressing myself that I normally wouldn't express myself in other settings and whatnot. And yeah, it's been a safe space for my growth and development, from performing comedy as a youth in the 7th grade talent show to performing Enter Sandman by Metallica in the staff talent show and whatnot. And it's just been such a great experience here.
So we talked a little bit about this being April, being Autism Awareness, Autism Appreciation Month.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually are an adult, an artist that's not just living but thriving with autism. How has autism affected you doing a job that requires so much socializing and being around people? How does that affect that?
Well, the interesting thing, I didn't even know I was autistic until I was probably like 27, 28 or whatnot, through like another coworker who also is high functioning autism. And then doing some research and then noticing like, okay, certain traits that like, oh, that's me. And then learning to live with it. So now it's not, oh, I'm not just weird or socially awkward. It's a neurodivergency thing. And then me working with kids with autism, it's honestly a blessing, because they say with autism, typically people with autism have a good bond or interactions with children and whatnot. And then me as an educator, I deal with a lot of children under the spectrum and whatnot. Now, we don't all have the same traits because it's a spectrum and whatnot, but it's just my empathy for children just goes such a long way. And I think my autism plays a huge role in my empathy for children and whatnot.
So, talking about empathy for children, talk about Sherridan as a child. We know I always like to separate the artist from the person. We know that they bleed into one another.
Mm-hmm.
But what was life like as a child for Sherridan?
Life for Sherridan as a child. Sherdizzil Harris as a child is like I said, undiagnosed kid with autism, very book smart, very introverted, very to himself, not really, only really hangs with like his cousins and whatnot. Would probably be working in a science workbook than going outside or playing video games or whatnot, until culture shock when teen years hit and whatnot. And also awareness of self, of being, I'm a black boy growing up in the hood, you know? So me not feeling like a black boy in the hood, doing things to now make up for that. What can I do to feel like I fit in more with other black people in the hood and whatnot? Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? And then finally coming to music as the one thing that, like, oh, I'm good at this.
My daily prayer, my daily prayer. Black girl, be free. Black woman, be at peace. Black boy, be free. Black man, be at peace. Black world, see we. Black world, see queen, see king. Black world, see me. Black world, know I see we when I see me. Black girl, be free. Black woman, be at peace. Black boy, be free. Black man, be at peace. Black world, see we. Black world, see queen, see king. Black world, see me. Black world, know I see we when I see me. I thought I'd take the secret to the grave, but how you hear from pain when still in shame? Yeah, yeah. Descendant of the royal and the slave. I seen and heard the both feel like they throw me away. Too ghetto, can't call me excellent, shawty. Two different guys, no invite to the party. Two worlds I walk in between and a constant. No rest for me ain't an option. Can't sleep when there isn't comfort. Oh, I question if I'm truly accepted. Is it my yellow complexion? Is it the tone of my voice? They mad at my split decision. Proud to be street and a misfit. I tell society, shut the fuck up, let folks pro-choice. Finally cool with being mixed, but I'm not a mulatto. I'm a real nigga, man, a woman, spirit of peace and battle. I hated us like I hated them, but never again. I see that all my resilience came from my ancestral skin. I'm built to win in the end. Black world, see we. Black world, see queens and see kings. Black world, see me. Black world, know I see we when I see me.
Let's stop right there. Black world, see queens. Black world, see queens.
Black
world, see me.
So black girl, be free. Black woman, be at peace. Black boy, be free. Black man, be at peace. Black world, see we. Black world, see queens, see kings. Black world, see me. Black world, know I see we when I see me.
Listen, I heard that and I immediately, it wasn't on my sheet, but I said, what is this? It sounds like that kind of thin line that mixed people always have to walk, and I always hear him talk about not fitting in.
Not fitting in on either side.
Talk about
and
that.
The funny thing is, I'm not technically mixed. Like, both my parents are black, but me also growing up with undiagnosed autism, me growing up very book smart and whatnot, different from a lot of my peers growing up, me growing up with different interests, like me also liking rock music and me liking anime and things like that. The never being able to fit in with my own people, but also I'm too much for other races to be accepted because I'm black. A lot of cases with autism is people with autism typically actually have like a good like way to connect with kids and whatnot. I have probably a way better tolerance for kids than I do adults, to be honest.
So it's cultural. It's like being a cultural mulatto and not necessarily
not
racial.
necessarily or genetically a mulatto.
That's deep, Sheridan. I really too want to just to back up to Sheridan as a child. I heard a song, "Fatherless."
Father figures.
Father figures.
Okay.
Father figures. In father figures, you said you wanted to thank the sperm donor for basically not being.
Right. Thank the sperm donor for what did I say? I daydream daily about my unborn seed. Finally get to show a side they never get to see. My pain, my joy, my confidence, a well-rounded person. For the longest, all I've known is nature, never nurture. Who could come for me? The only time they come for me, currency, never company. So currently, I keep my fortress at a love organ. To the heavens bless me with one more important to update with a whole different identity. Never have a junior because I want them to be better than me. Want them to find and walk their own path vigorously, but knowing that only a call away if they ever in need. I would like to make a toast to the sperm donor, but not knowing I exist. That's why I go harder. When it's my time to be a father, give that honor job my heart and spirit, just like every lyric writ. So my father doesn't even know that I exist. So it's like I can't even really call him like a deadbeat. You don't know that I'm out here and whatnot. I'm the product of a one night stand, you know. So my frustrations with that, my frustrations with both parents and whatnot is deep. But I love my mom is the light of my life. There's nothing we butt heads, we clash consistently, but there's no person that I value more in this world than her. And my father, I don't know this man. I don't even know his actual name, but I don't hate this dude no more because it's just like your absence played a huge role in why I do have the love that I do for children and whatnot, and the love that I have to one day be a father and do right by them.
So would you say that the combination of that, because that's a unique situation, we do see a lot of absentee fathers in our community, but generally by choice, they know.
Exactly.
So he doesn't even know.
Right.
How between the cultural separation you felt, how did that shape you as an artist, as Sherdizzil? Not Sheridan, Sherdizzil.
Funny thing is, shout out to Tupac and Eminem because they'll forever be my two favorite artists because of their duality and whatnot. And I like to think Sheridan is to Marshall as Sherdizzil is to Eminem. Sheridan is the boy with autism, still hurting from everything that he's experienced in life. Loss of the people that have raised him, like my grandparents and my oldest uncle. The loss of friends who have died in tragic circumstances. The betrayal of friends and family. Preying upon good-hearted nature. The lack of support from friends and family and community, despite showing up for them. And
hold on a second, Sheridan. Let's sit in that right there. Lack of support from family, community, even though you showed up for them. Talk more about that, because I can kind of, that resonates with me. Dig deeper into that for me. How does that really feel, and how does it play out?
It's interesting. Like I don't think anyone in Kalamazoo champions Kalamazoo music more than me. Whether it's a hip hop act, R&B act, rock act, whatever, I show up and I collaborate with so many people on this tip of maybe I'm writing a song for them, maybe they're just coming in to talk to me and have me record them or whatever the case may be. For somebody that's revered in the scene so much and like, yeah, he's really good at what he does. But my streams don't reflect that. My shows don't reflect that. I get booked for shows luckily based off of talent and not based off of how many people will show up for me, you know.
I see that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's part of the motivation behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
Is because I think too often we spotlight popularity
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily talent.
Right.
So I'm glad that we're sitting down having these conversations. When you talk about the community, not just necessarily the music community, but the community that you call home.
Right.
What's changed about that community from the time you were young till today? What's changed for the good and for the bad?
I'm from the South Side, A17 Clarence Street.
Southside. I would get a lot of Southside
Yeah.
people on the podcast.
Yeah. A17 Clarence Street. I grew up with my grandparents, my oldest uncle, and my mama. My next door neighbors were my two oldest cousins. Their next door neighbors were their mamas. So I come from a block that is deep rooted with like I probably come from the safest block in Kalamazoo because there's families like my own. And shout out to the Smiths, shout out to the Cunninghams that because of our where our values are at and our love and loyalty for each other, certain things can't happen on that block. Certain things just won't happen on that block. Now, in recent times, what we're seeing a lot of black people in particular in Kalamazoo that are entertaining certain energy and activities. And then the results of that is either becoming drug addicts, prisoners, or murder victims. A sad thing is probably like the stereotypical black person here, I personally believe is too nosy. And because of that, that consistently puts them in harm's way. You're putting yourselves around jealous and hopeless people that have no regards for their own lives, let alone yours. You know, and it's a sad thing to see, especially amongst the youth and whatnot, especially as somebody that works with you, somebody that's trying their best to, with my own students who I see that might be going down the path of, falling street struck or whatnot.
So would you say then there was a better sense of community in the city when you were growing up, or was it just specific to your block because your family was there? Is it any different today?
Possibly.
I mean, the block that you grew up on, is that block still that safe haven? Is it still that way?
To an extent, there have been issues like meth epidemic. A lot of meth heads have moved to my old neighborhood and whatnot. And now they recently just did a little swoop and whatnot and got some of them out of abandoned houses and whatnot. But it might just be my block thing. I think there's been calmer times without a doubt. Like wasn't as bad in Patwood maybe 20 years ago. Wasn't as bad. I can't even truly recall if Alamo was a thing 20 years ago, but just wasn't as bad maybe when I was a child compared to me as an adult because of the times that we're in and whatnot.
So where do you stand as far as where do you see the disconnect between, because there's a lot of good stuff that happens in Kalamazoo, a lot of good organization, grassroots organization, boots on the ground organizations, yet and still no one has been able to mend the south side and the north side, right?
Right.
My thought is, and I've caught flack for saying this, is what I've noticed is a lot of the grassroots, boots on the ground organizations, they're specific to wherever they grew up.
Right.
So even their charitable work, even their outreach is only directed towards where they're from.
Right, exactly.
And so that just further creates the divide. What do you think needs to happen? What can we do to mend those two sides?
Me personally, to mend the two sides in particular, you need more of the big faces of these sides and whatnot to come together. And like you said that you noticed that when it comes to like certain events or organizations to help with the youth and whatnot, well, they stick to their side of town. You know, you might only see, why is there a Douglas Center, but there's nothing like that on the South Side? You know, why is there a fire, but there's nothing like that on the North Side and whatnot? These are two different, the Douglas Center and fire represent two completely different things and whatnot. And it's just like, yeah, why is there not a place like this over here? You know, as opposed to like, why is there not a place like this over here? So I think it would take the big faces of both sides to come together and like, hey, we're gonna do something for all of the youth, not just North and South Side, East Side too as well. We know that there's a fair share of struggle over there as well, and just we've lost so many. Sadly, we're losing so many of our big faces in the city. Shout out, rest in peace, Viggy. The fact that you were killed on your side, killed on your own side, and these are the people that are supposed to be looking out for you. They're supposed to be championing you and whatnot. We have to do better with, like I said, it's a lot of jealousy and hopelessness in a lot of people in Kalamazoo. And it's like on one end, they wanna ride your coattails for whatever they can, but if they can't do that, then the jealousy exposes itself, and now they're trying their best to plan for your downfall and whatnot.
Shouldn't you be proud of me? Shouldn't you? Did it legit, did it to win, did it the best, then I did it again. Name one time I come through in the end, on 10 toes I stand. Shouldn't you be proud of me? Size I came up from the bottom, I'm outside, I ain't hiding from nothing. Whole time still starting no bluffing, and I ain't never switching up on my brothers. Shouldn't you, shouldn't you be proud of me? Shouldn't you be proud of me? What up, Yak? What up, Low? What up, School? What up, Joe? What up, Twan? What up, Yellow? What up, Maul? What up, Mila? What up, Ted? What up, Blue? What up, D-Earth? What up, Q? What up, Fly? What up, Keith? What up, Cavill? 10 a fucking key. What up, Rap? What up, Graham? What up, Stack? What up, Scam? What up, Tay? What up, Fawn? What up, Cam? What up, Don? What up, Mitch? What up, CC? What up, Trail? What up, Akeem? To all my real niggas, you know I love you. And to my big haters, fuck you. Did it legit, did it to win, did it the best, then I did it again. Name one time I come through in the end, on 10 toes I stand. Shouldn't you be proud of me? Size I came up from the bottom, I'm outside, I ain't hiding from nothing. Whole time still starting no bluffing, and I ain't never switching up.
So you said something about the big faces. Leads me into this question, and again, this is something that I hadn't planned on hitting on, but what is your thoughts on the YNs, as they call it? What is the responsibility? I often say when we talk about the youth, and the youth is this and the youth is that, I've been saying this for years. Well, then who raised them?
Exactly.
Don't disconnect yourself from the problem. The kids nowadays, who raised the kids nowadays? What is the responsibility that the OGs and the triple OGs and these, what responsibility do you think they have to the YNs?
The YNs are a product of my generation. To be honest, if we talking what's the age range of YN? 13 to 21, maybe 20. Okay, I'm 32, which means more likely someone 13 to 18 is probably old enough, young enough to be my child. My child. So they're a reflection of my generation's infatuation with the streets. My generation's infatuation with the streets, from the criminal activities that are promoted to us to get money, to the camaraderie that does exist in gang culture without a doubt, but they don't tell us about, hey, the dangers still of gang culture and whatnot. Like, because my generation has regarded the street life so much, because my generation is the generation that plays certain records in the car with their kids, with them and whatnot. That's our fault. It's 100% our fault.
So now, because you know I got to keep it real. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put your feet to the fire on mm-hmm. this. When I listen to the origin story, mm-hmm. It struck me because it seems very different than the Sherridan that I interact with on Facebook. It seems very different than the Sherridan that greeted me at mm-hmm. the Paramount Charter Academy. Right. So then, do you feel any sense or any obligation, or do you feel that you're playing a part in it by the music that you made?
100%.
Soon as a nigga mention 12, I bet he tell it all. These niggas snitching and they rapping, all they do is talk. You check the scope, we up more bodies, call us fentanyl. Those pussies ain't gon' shoot shit if we get involved. I stand on big business, bitch, nigga, sit down. Free Kiki, we gon' turn this whole city out. Hey, you touching brick money, can't get rid of pound. That old English, only time you had a 40 ounce. Don't fuck with drugs, but still get busy with a digit scale. Watch your tone, your big homie be our biggest sale. Trash slapping with the bunnies, Peter Cottontail. Mobs is 10 ply, so we call them Cottonelle. They only hate behind my back, we meet, they wish me well. Appreciate you, cause you know that I'm that nigga still. These hoes don't ever say they great, but still they pray I fail. God hate ugly, so y'all big losers and I prevail. Soon as a nigga mention 12, I bet he tell it all. These niggas snitching and they rapping, all they do is talk. You check the scope, we up more bodies, call us fentanyl. Those pussies ain't gon' shoot shit if we get involved. Bitch, yeah, what up though? Welcome to the murder mitten, home of the cutthroat. Playing in my city like a pussy.
100%. 100%. Records like Fentanyl, Origin Story, yeah, definitely promote a certain energy and activity. But I also, because of like I said, Tupac is my favorite artist, and Tupac is my favorite artist because there's the gangster side, and then there's the side that wants to change the world and help people. And it's almost like, to reach the people, you gotta be amongst the people and whatnot. My students are Fentanyl is one of their favorite songs, sad. Like that's just the reality of it. But it's also, they see me on a regular daily basis modeling something very different from that. And I truly believe it helps motivate. Like they have the intelligence to see that, okay, yes, he makes songs like this, but he also doesn't make songs like this, and he shows up for us every day. So maybe there isn't maybe I don't have to be street struck.
Well, let me push you a little further then, Sherridan. Mm-hmm. What then do you say to the kids that don't see you at mm-hmm. the Paramount Charter Academy? The kids that don't have the wherewithal to decipher between the two, to understand that there's a duality about mm-hmm. Sherridan, and that this is just one. What about those that don't have that? do you feel a responsibility in some way to them?
Yeah.
And is what you do here part of your way of reconciling that?
Yes, because I couldn't be here if I was actively involved if I was currently active in the things that I've mentioned in songs and whatnot. I believe someone coming from a certain lifestyle helps the fact that uh, he's doing it. This is why I try my best. Some days I might not put on my best outfit, but I try my best to be a great representation of where I come from, Southside, Kalamazoo, and whatnot, and show that hey, this is somebody that looks like me and is putting his best foot forward in a positive light. And that's why I have the duality of, like I said, reason why I gravitated to artists like Tupac, reason why I gravitated to DMX and gravitated to even like a little Boosie and whatnot, because it's the I'm gonna give it to you raw, uncut. I'm gonna give it to you very raw, uncut, but I'm also going to give you that like I said, the raw uncut, like, hey, this is what I come from, this is what I've done, but I'm gonna also give you, hey, there's a downside to this and whatnot. You don't want that downside and whatnot. And also to show you where I'm at now. Me as a man that is an educator and whatnot, that's not on this type of time. I'm trying I just had a conversation with one of my coworkers about I gotta get my wardrobe up. I need a peacoat. I need to dress more like a 30-year-old person to show that growing old is cool. Like I want to show the youth that growing to be 30 and 40 is a wonderful thing. The problem is so many people my age try to fit in with the YNs. I am at a place now, you niggas look crazy. I get it because I was just there with y'all a few years ago. But it's the mature. I think we had like a minor conversation last night about maturing with your audience.
Yes.
I'm not finna revert back to YN. We're either going up. We're going up all the way. We're not reverting back to YN energy. You feel me? So,
but I think what you're saying, I'm just asking the questions, but I actually agree with you on this. You are hope. You know what I mean? Because they can identify with where you were.
right.
And you can let them see where they can go to.
Right.
That they don't have to stay there. And so, by the way, I think Fentanyl is a phenomenal song.
Thank you.
You got a lot of phenomenal songs.
I appreciate that for sure.
When I talk about 5 a.m. on the dot, this is another part of Sherdizzil. You see what I'm saying? Because this is more like that Playboy,
the R&B side.
That R&B side. But it's
ain't had a good night, shut so long I forgot. I hope who's meant for me can be the vibes I send it, tossing it, turning, ain't fun alone. When are you coming home? I can daydream all I want, but at night it's not enough. There I go, there I go, there I go. Visions of you and me, pray happens soon indeed. She dropped to her knees, need something so shaky, make you scream, At first it was, Now it's baby, please don't stop. I'll deal with a heartache later. How far you willing to go? these feelings now is driving me crazy. In too deep to call these feelings now. I wish she was my baby. 5 a.m. on the track. Tossing and turning ain't fun. When are you coming home?
I can daydream all I want, but at night it's not enough. So yeah, the yearning for to be reciprocated, but have a partner that truly loves you for you. We're living in a time, especially in R&B. The reason why I'm not the biggest fan of R&B right now is there's no loving.
Come on.
Everyone's heartbroken.
Or they talking like the rap.
Exactly. Everybody's heartbroken. All the women view men just as niggas. All the niggas view women just as bitches. Everybody's just fucking. It's just there's no love in this thing anymore. And I appreciate when because of what I feel like I bring to R&B with songs like Feedback and 5 a.m. on the dot. Oh, there's love in there. There's the desire for intimacy in there, not the desire to just be cracking something.
Right.
You know?
I think that speaks to, like we were saying, though, if we look at it's the maturity, it's the growth.
Right.
Like you say, you're 32, and so every song, and this is what my issue was with the Drake song. I just felt like this would be so something that I would bop to in 8th grade.
Right.
Yet this nigga's almost 40.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, when you think about yourself as an artist, take us from A Day in the Life of all the way to the Sherridan Harris project.
A Day in the Life. A Day in the Life that's 2021, right? 2021.
Yeah. Still in it.
Yeah, and that's so that's 28 years in the making plus a pandemic. 28 years of an artist just finally getting it together in this pandemic of all times to just freely create and make this project full of songs just touching on what's going on in life right now, or life from the past 28 years of life. To the Sherridan Harris LP is I feel like on a bigger scale, it's getting a little more deeper with songs like Origin Story, with songs like Pray for the Hood, songs like Fentanyl, songs like on the R&B side, Talk to Me Nice, songs like Playing Cool and whatnot. Really, Sherridan Harris LP focused more on the duality of the hip hop artist and the R&B artist, bringing those two together and whatnot, bringing the tale of a nigga that come from the hood, done his dirt, has elevated to a slightly decent level of maturity and an educator. And then the R&B side reflecting on a man who possibly could fall in love, possibly not. Won't change, though, however, who he is as a man and how he loves, values, and desires women.
So, I know a lot, you worked with a lot of different artists. When I was going through your bio, it talks about the hundreds of songs that are on streaming platforms that have contributions from you. Who have you worked with that you feel like you had the most fun working with, and who do you want to work with that you haven't?
Who I have the most fun with, like my in-house people. Shout out to Trellion Trail, Courtney Moore, Mitchie Moore, Dior Oxy, Don Bolter, Akeem Abdul, Najwan Wilson on the camera side and whatnot.
And who do I
thrive to work with? Mike Anianga. And we've had like minor collaborations, but nothing that's come to fruition and whatnot. And Shiley, who also is from the Vine. White Girl Got Soul. We put it to y'all like that. White Girl Got Soul. Drab or D.R.AB, young upcoming artist on the scene.
So it sounds like you leaning more into your R&B lately.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think as I'm growing, I think this is the direction I want to go. So then maybe Sherdizzil, that goes away and we become Sherridan Harris. Yeah. You know, we go
I like
for.
Sherridan.
I appreciate. They've been honestly, and because I come from hip hop. I'm born in '93. That's the year of Doggy Style. We all know that Doggy with Snoop Dogg, the Izzle thing. So like, I just felt like I can't just stray from hip hop because everybody thinks or prefers my R&B. But as I'm growing and it's just now it's finally being the desired more genre to move forward with. And like I said, I'm going to be maturing. I am maturing and making more adult content. Please don't expect another fentanyl. Please don't expect another. Yeah, I get like that was fentanyl was made solely because of the fact I'm from Michigan and I don't really listen to Detroit music like that. I'm also from the South, so I gravitate more to Southern hip hop than Michigan hip hop. But I am from Michigan. I was born here. I should have at least one song that kind of captures Michigan. And that's Fentanyl reporting live from the South Side.
Hey, it's a nice song. I ain't gonna front. It's a nice song. Tell me this, Sherridan. What is the most impactful thing that has happened to you, good or bad, in your life?
Moving back here. Moving back here was honestly just because I was in Nashville. Matter of fact, I was writing for NBA Youngboys producer. Shout out Dub A and whatnot. This was in 2014 and whatnot. But I didn't see it going anywhere anytime fast. Right, I moved back here right before. He was also producing for Kodak Black. I moved right around that time before he started producing for Youngboy and Moneybagg Yo and certain other artists. But the thing is, there wasn't a scene that I gravitated to in Nashville because Nashville is just mostly like just rappers and whatnot and just everyone rapping about the same thing. Moving back here, I've gotten to see so much in the music scene from, like I said, from folks in the hood that rap about what they rap about to the folks on campus, to the folks in the Vine. Shout out Dollar D.
Shout out
Chima. Shout out Touche. Shout out Lipsy. Shout out Fink. Shout out Headband Henny and the Vine putting up the numbers on the streaming side and whatnot. Shout out Santino Jones and Sam Peters. It's just once I got here and kind of made a dent in the scene, despite even my not getting the support that I'm looking for as an artist, but the respect that I get as an artist from my peers and whatnot. Like they'll tell you, yeah, he's not to be played with. When he gets on that mic or he's producing or whatever, he's a problem, you know? And I just appreciate that. But that's why I also go so hard for my peers as well, because like, I want to see us all reach the top and whatnot.
Speaking of which, how do you think the recent success of Mushu by your boy Touche, how do you think that's going to impact the scene here in Kalamazoo? Do you think it's going to be helpful, or do you think not so much? Because we've seen people kind of break through. We had Cheddar Bills, who we know he had to go away for a minute, but you know, Cheddar Bills is fire too, and he kind of had his foot in the door with some major artists there in the Detroit area. Do you see the music scene being lifted by this, or you're not really seeing the impact trickle down?
I truly don't, but it's also because Touche's success is due to Touche's level of talent. Touche was producing for cats for years before, you know, he finally locked in and said, I've been giving these niggas hits for years. I'm gonna give myself one, you know? And it's just, I banged Mushu when I first heard it for like 6 days straight, listening to nothing else but that, because I was so proud that someone with talent, not the clout, the talent was breaking through and whatnot. And that's just, other people have to find the talented ones just have to be supported in the same sense, that the same way that Touche is being supported. Support the people with the talent, support the Chimas, support the Nyla Shell, support the Sherdizzils, the talented ones. There's a lot of ones that are, y'all are cool, but that's also just y'all clout has garnered y'all the spots that y'all are in. When it's like, me as an artist, me as a producer, me as just a musician, Mushu is undeniable. There's so many songs that I hear from Kalamazoo artists that are just undeniable. The sad part about it is, though, not put to the forefront because these are not people that are supported.
Right.
You know.
I feel that. That's for real. So, before we get out of here, I want you to tell me why everybody needs to tap in to Sherdizzil.
What you looking for? Go listen to Fentanyl. Go listen to Go listen. You want some introspective stuff on the street life? Go listen to Origin Story. Go listen to Father Figures. Go listen to Pray for the Hood. It's because the list is, and like, I don't get to pop my shit so much, but it's just my people. But I'm GOAT. Simple as that. I've been GOAT for a good minute around this mug, you know? Like, I personally only feel like the only two touching me songwriting wise is Touche and Ching. The other two people who had label talks just like me. The only other two people who you're seeing like the streaming numbers go up and et cetera, et cetera. It's like, I'm just very humble because of my introvertedness, and as well as just the autism and things of this nature playing into. But I'll be honest, I'm getting a little fed up with being like, nah, like I'm GOAT. I'm GOAT. And if I'm not GOAT, let's have a versus. Put y'all catalogs up, mine. Come on. Then the songs, you would have a hard day going up against my whole catalog of not just my solo material, but what I've written and produced for other people. Have fun.
Have fun. Have fun. Listen, Sherridan, it has been an absolute joy to sit down and talk with you. One last thing, though. I ask this to mostly everybody that I interview. When you've taken your last lap around the sun, and it's all said and done, there's no more bars to be lived, there's no more bars to be written.
Right.
What do you want the people to say or remember about you?
He was him. Genuine and talented. Genuine and talented.
Hey, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's enough. But let me tell you this is Hey, I appreciate you, man.
as a nigga mention 12, I bet he tell it all. These niggas snitching and they rapping, all they do is talk. You check the scope, we up more bodies, call us fentanyl.
They say it's standing on business, I say it's standing on play. You winning like I'm in the league, with God in first place. Love can never be defeated, cause I keep the scriptures on replay. I keep breaking through in every season, I'm followed by goodness to celebrate. I'm stepping on X and ain't boot, I'm muscle, got favor, them blessings. Falling like water, wake up to new grace. Thank God that's my father, I pass every test and then I go harder. Let go. They say it's